In my previous life, I was playing Destiny 2 and Rainbow Six Siege. But on April 1st, the Rainbow Six Siege servers went offline, and ironically on that day, we started playing something else. We played CSGO. Now CSGO is a game for veterans and players of all kinds who have at least 100 or even 1,000 of hours on their account. And I never really was good at FPS games overall. But with this series, I want to tell a new story. Join me from silver place to the highest rank of CSGO. Weapon of Noise, the CSGO journey of me. How's this? Welcome and enjoy the show.
Container once the threat is neutralized.
Yeah,
that's true.
Op 4 eliminated.
It's ready.
Woo!
Alter! Ich hab den gerade.
Yes, boy! Ja, möglicher Schadenangriff. Das war ein Ace! Ach, das war ein Ace! Oh nein! Okay, Bombe down. There we go.
Ah, yeah. They pushed. Maybe you go in behind you.
Letzter müsste.
Yeah, boys! I'm no mastermind playing the game, but I do have my passion and at least my spirit to drive me forward. Back in the day when CSGO released, it was 2012. You know, I just, started studying computer science, had my PlayStation 3 with me, and Call of Duty, Black Ops 2. And every time when I played with friends, it was basically just me, lagging behind. Everyone else was playing basically since World at War. Basically, they were just so much better than I that even just on controllers and console, I felt I was really lagging. When I later joined also to PC because I started, to earn some money and actually could afford a good gaming PC, like in Battlefield 3, I was still, really lagging. Like mouse and keyboard was very difficult to adapt to with a controller, having played on that for a long time. And basically, I'm not good at it. I just admit it. But thanks to at least some hard training, I got a good understanding of the basics and have a good grasp of how to play at least some of these shooters. Even though I played now for a couple of years since day one, for example, Destiny and Destiny 2, of course, which was mainly on consoles first, and now thankfully also on PC. My skills still were not that good because tactical team shooters like Rainbow Six Siege and CSGO were still played differently, even on PC, of course. And CSGO I never really touched myself, really. Well, the gambling scandals that happened in the past, and of course the YouTuber scandals, I wasn't really, willing to play a game and talk about a game because I was doing YouTube, as a hobby still. Where I wanted to support the game, basically. Didn't want to give it any platform when it was treated that bad. And there was so much scummy stuff happening. Now, at least the skin market got a little bit better with the restrictions to how these skin sites work or can't operate anymore. And Valve did at least some good updates. So I feel like I'm good to come back and I want to talk about it. Because after all, it's not about the skins. It's not about the trading. It's about the game. It's about the shooting. It's about the team play. And how you can always, every match, can have one or two cool hero moments. So, in this series, I want to take a look back with around 10 weeks of hindsight. And if you want to see my current progress, feel free to follow me on twitch.tv/housetest, link in the description down below, where you can see how I played today. And we're going to take a look back at how I played in the very beginning. Welcome to Silver Games, Silver Elite, and my very first Gold Nova matches. Today we start with Silver 1 and Silver 2. And of course, it's going to be very interesting to see how I played in the past compared to how I play now. Let's see how you can also adapt some strats maybe, and maybe you can learn something yourself. If you have some tips for me, if you have questions, let me know in the comments down below. Let's all grow together, improve our strats, and definitely have a lot of fun. And for now, that's all the introduction we need. Welcome to the Silver Games. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the very first match that we're gonna take a look at. It's gonna happen on Mirage, played on April 1st. And don't worry, we're not gonna go through everything. It's just, you know, small bits and pieces to dissect where I am standing, what's happening, and especially, you know, what I could have done better, you know, with some hindsight, with the 10 weeks of experience that I have now. Before I played that round on April 1st, the only round that I have a record of actually is from August 2019, where I lost a match. I didn't even have a rank back then. If you remember, back in 2015, at the end of the year, Valve released an update which changed how ranks are basically distributed. The rank system, of course, is still there with the same ranks, but how many people are, you know, in these ranks changed a lot since this update. And I remember very significantly that I did have indeed a rank that was sort of Gold Nova 2 or Gold Nova 3. And after that, it was probably a Silver Scrub. Which doesn't matter in the end anymore, because I sadly can't even look at these games, because the match history, which we can see now, thanks to the GDPR release, Valve had to basically give us all the matches at least since 2017, which was to me at least a great, you know, update, because even though if I don't have the demos anymore and maybe don't even have a record, I have all the games that I played with the new restart basically of my CSGO career. And with that, I'm very happy to bring you a great series, hopefully. But today we start here on Mirage. I play with 3 friends and 1 random, and well, myself of course. And let's dig into how this round begins. We start on the T side, and of course we're gonna rush B. As you can hear, we already had a lot of fun. And yes, we're speaking German, because all of these are my German-based friends. And I'm very happy to report that also later on we're gonna have some, you know, different countries, some solo queues. So don't worry, this series is not just gonna be all in English, especially with me narrating. For the first start, I gotta say, wow, that was 1 kill. Look at this crosshair, this active crosshair. It's so literally disgusting, I think. Personally, luckily I very quickly just copied something a few days later from a mod that I've seen with a static crosshair. But overall, it wasn't the worst take on B that we had, at least, you know. We were going in, we had a 1v1 now. Sadly, our colleague here switched over to burst fire, which probably cost him the end of the round. And as we can see here, these are the ranks that I was playing with: Silver 3, Silver Elite, Gold Nova 1 and Gold Nova 2. And once I get my rank back, I won't be as high as them. Spoiler alert. Why do we actually play on Mirage? That is a good question which you haven't asked, but I'm still gonna answer it. By the way, this is what I was asking, which button is the throw button? I was like, so unexperienced. Meanwhile, I by now have custom keybinds and everything. And yeah, that was our mate who just got out that we need to go rush B again. So I was very much like unknown to almost everything, and thankfully over the weeks I got a lot of help from my friends. I think I never played solo queue until now in June, and that was back in April, and we definitely had a lot of fun together. So at least that was for sure. Even if it looks like we're not doing as much, we did indeed have a lot of fun. After we won the last round, thankfully to successfully using single shot fire with the gun, we finally went on to the first real rifle round. I went low for UMP. Just as we got to here again, we are gonna rush actually into A again. It's very funny to me personally, at least, how much we're rushing at the very first start of the series, and so much later I'm just gonna really going strat wise. For example, waiting for nades to be thrown and then entering sides, you know. Just have the CTs throw everything they have, and then I'm gonna be good to go. Also interesting that I'm gonna go T-ramp here instead of actually focusing forward, just in case somebody would walk back. Something that nobody really does until later in the round, because I didn't even know like how long does it take to walk around the map. So there's definitely a lot going in here for me back then and now. At least we got the pick there on Palace, which was definitely worth it. And now I'm a 1 versus 2. Now it's gonna be interesting if I can actually make it. I did get that 1 UMP headshot, but do I see the other person? Especially my crossfire right there, my crosshair right there. This doesn't make any sense. I can hear now somebody's coming from the back actually. And the bomb successfully launches. So I wouldn't really call it a clutch. And as you can see, I even survived only one part, and that was quickly taken from me from the enemy. Here's another fascinating scene that we can see here. We're going actually all mid, except for me. I'm running through TV and towards, of course, T-apps, thinking that I could do something in this round 5 with an UMP versus somebody who actually has a good rifle, like an M4, or in that case, an SG. So yeah, basically that was just a waste overall. But the one thing that really tripped me out was that I didn't throw a smoke. And for all who don't know the very basic smoke of how to go from mid, here it is from a game that I just played this week. Alright, so here we have a standard Mirage setup, and it's very simple actually how you can go over and just smoke window. You line like this, crouch, walk forward, and then use a jump keybind. Then we played it again so you can see it. You just need to basically crouch next to that can, and then you're all set up almost aligned with the one spot on the railing, and then you can just basically go. It helps a lot with the smoke, especially if you have other people rushing from it. A second one drops the smoke so nobody can see from connector, and you're all set to storm forward. Meanwhile, in our silver match, we have a 1v3 clutch here by Xiptag, good mate of mine. And he really does it very smart. He doesn't poke too much in the open. He's not able to be seen from short, just waiting for the people to come there. A little bit better with spray control would absolutely help, but as we can see, he does get the pick with a headshot and actually wins the round for us, bringing us to a 5-3. And of course he saves the op because he's a good mate. Meanwhile, I don't even know what to really get besides get the best gun in the game, the AK. And utility-wise, I also don't know what to do. Oh, pass me. I have a lot of learning to do. Here's an interesting bit, a little bit later. You can see me playing with the UMP. I have 2 people in connector. One probably very quickly going into window. As you can see, one is at the front top here of connector. I don't know if he's in, I don't even try really. What I'm really trying to do is getting that spray down somehow to work with burst fire. And as you can see, I got super lucky that I didn't even get properly hit by the amount of walking left and right. Like, Jesus Christ, top and shoot. That's what you have to do, not walk left and right and shoot. Maybe even later if you have a little bit the AD movement down, but this is... wow. I do it while I was in silver for the first 2 weeks. Again, a little bit later in the round, where we're still on the T side, I'm starting to remember things from old YouTube videos. You know, tutorials I watched but didn't really... you know, I didn't put to use because I wasn't playing actively, but I still remember a few things like this smoke, which you can use actually to smoke bomb start off and have that bridge between default and far actually locked off. And that helps me at least to get the bomb down, at least to where I can plant. I didn't even know where the planting site was. And I can see some of their ticket at least. I'm trying to pick the person, but as you can see again, I'm just really moving too much. I'm hiding an injure, and that's the point where I'm very easily picked off because just somebody needs to rush over to me, and that was what's happened. I was killed by the stairs player. And in the next one, we just meet the next problem that I faced and really learned very early on. I have $7,600. I buy full for myself. My mate says, oh, I need to low buy. What I should have done instead is drop my scout for a second and give him an AK as well, so he can play properly and we're all fully equipped. Well, I don't know on that. CSGO really is a team game. You play as a unit together, even if they're strangers. For the amount of time that you play this game, like 50 minutes, you are one team. And the team always needs to stick up for each other. As you can see later down the round, he plays with the MP5. I wasted my scout basically because I wasn't even sure how to play this thing. And it could have been better if you got an AK, but luckily everyone else was so much better than I was. He just got the drop here with the M4. As you see here at the end of the round, that drop actually was totally worth it. I mean, in the end he saved and got the pickup. But again, if you would have had an AK from the beginning, that would have been so much better for the team. Anyway, in the end, the half was actually won with 8-7. So, not too bad for the first game. We're complete, you know, unknown. We didn't know what to do. Joined the game, and a few people who sort of more mixed together. But then, sadly, the second half happened. And that was a little bit of a slaughter. The first pistol round on CT side didn't go well. I just got picked very quickly. So I'm just jumping to the second one, where I got myself in UMP and full armor at least. So that was good actually in the end. And we were running through to B. I was going short, hoping that I could get some picks. And we're gonna definitely see a very cool play from Murray coming up. In the meantime, I'm trying my best, you know, to place my crosshair somewhere where hopefully somebody is. And that at least to, you know, getting some damage out. You know, 170 hit, the other one on spot was also hit. So let's see how NVIDIA Project does his thing here. He goes down with the deagle, takes the AK, gets another headshot in with the help of my damage beforehand. He does get damaged by the nade, but also gets a pick, and now it's a 1v1. Does he get it? That is the question. His placements are interesting. He doesn't know any intel about the enemy. Would have sworn he was on apps, and that was when it was coming out. Certainly got picked, but nevertheless, having a 1v4 and with just one enemy living is still good economic damage, and that's at least the second best thing to get out of that situation. Sadly, we almost reached the end of the match, and I didn't really do anything else in that round on CT side. CT side really needs to be played completely different from T. I know that now, but back in the day, you know, that was a different thing. And at least we got that crossfire going for us. One coming through connector, one from short, and then we hit it. Sadly, it still led to a top v3, which, hey, we got that pick. And there's only one left on spawn on bomb site. Do I get the pick? I don't know anymore. It's been so long. I do, and I even make the match an MVP. That was basically it for the match. We're not gonna see the end of it fully, but there's one last scene that I want to go through with you on hindsight. So, round 28, we got a cool situation here. Enemies were pushing through connector onto A. I didn't have any good positioning right there. And we only had one orb there in Palace and across, who died very quickly. But we're gonna see something very awesome here by NVIDIA Project. A good mate of mine who played with for years by now, and now we're not only playing Rainbow Six Siege but also CSGO again. So what I particularly love is his style of play. He shoots, he backs up, repositions, and then he got the pick. Excellent play here on this level. It's time for the fun round. It's 14 to 15. Can we get it or not? That's what we'll see now. It could be at least a draw, and I just need a draw to get my rank back finally after all those years to see where I'm standing. Would it be good? Would it be bad? And exactly how much do I have to play in silver before I reach gold? Let's see. What fascinates me again in this last round is also the way how I move. I move a lot forward, not much left and right, you know, where I could stop myself very easily, because the fingers are always in A and D. If I go forward with W and have to break with S to get, you know, my precision back, that is just so much more difficult or even impossible. And it ends up actually being a 1v3 here on Mirage through connector. And as you can see, well, that's how it ends. So the very first game that I played, again, April 1st, funny enough, was only because the Siege servers were offline, but it will eventually lead to a very cool, you know, phase where I play a lot of CSGO, and you will definitely see those highlights that I showed at the beginning of the video later on the series. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up, that would be appreciated, and subscribe to not miss any new episode. For now, I'll be back again, of course, on twitch.tv/houses with the latest games, and I hope you have a great day. I'll see you soon again. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.